Hey guys, I'll give the ad half a minute. Um, try and get some actual work done here. Sorry, it's not going to be a very informative stream. I've got a deadline. I'm starting to panic about it. I've run out of time pretty much on it, so I'm either working all night or I'm giving up on it, basically. Geez Louise. This is what I've got. I'm a bit cooked today. I'm not feeling real good. But because it couldn't possibly get any more complicated, this is what I'm working. This mechanism is pretty well finished. Hey Wazza, hey James, Peter, g'day. Bill, hello. TMB, g'day. We'll go till we go. I don't know how I show this really. I could probably use. Don't know how to do that. Anyway, I've got. Yeah, let me regroup for a minute. This is working. This one spins the opposite way. This all spins. Right. We've got a shaft through here with a couple of spur gears, like you can't see that. I'm going to try and zoom in a bit. Zooming a thing on this camera. I think so. Here we go. Zooming's definitely a thing. Let's go. Try not to lose my camera off, my phone off the side of the bench. It does make it a bit more sensitive. We'll shift that so it's not in the way. Probably put a piece of white paper or something here, but I've got bevel gears in here and a shaft. So when we turn this handle, right, the shaft turns. Because this bottom shaft in here that comes down through here is actually fixed in place at the bottom. So as it turns, the 1-to-1 bevel gear turns this shaft at the same rate. We're following. Don't know why I've done that. Anyway, it seemed like a good idea. We've got some legs that need to come off these two bolts, this one and this one. Hey, James, it's the right one. So they'll hang down here a bit. And a lever or something off this shaft, which is going to be a bit loose to actually make it all work, or crank, is going to pick up the knees and drop them. How stupid does this sound? I'm going to have to give it a go tonight. Anyway, that's what's going to happen. and hopefully we can time them so that one happens and then the other, so it's not lifting both feet at the same time. So you see that piece of masking tape stuck to the ends turning nicely. That should work. Now, this other mechanism, which is a bit crazy, I'll just wind it around here so you can actually see it, probably. There's a lever here, and a wire, and a spring-loaded rod that comes up and down. That swings the shoulders. Right, I got that sorted with a spring. It's not a very good spring. I need a biro spring for this. And I haven't got a 3mm shaft collar, so I'll put a 4mm one on there and it's going to have to do for now. It needs some sort of a ramp, like I don't know, something like these scissors. I don't know if it's going to work even. I don't know if it's going to pick it up. If anyone's got any thoughts on this as we go, it would be very helpful. I can't see anything picking anything going under there to pick that up. It's got to be paper thin. And I think I've got a silver solder something up. I've put another hole in there, so it's really only got to lift about 5mm. But it needs to pretty much be the entire half a distance, so that it happens once every turn. So it needs to pick up there the 5mm, like between sort of there and there, and stay to 5mm and then drop back down, I think. Maybe if we only make it about a third of the gap, if we the smart thing to do to make a wear plate or a disc of brass to go on here. So that this spins round on it, and then just have a silver solder bump on it. Cut a bump out of a bit of steel, a bit of plate, and file the ends up. Hey, fridge. Needs a ball on the end of the rod. That's exactly what it needs. Now, how do I facilitate that? I don't know. If I got a piercing ball, that might work. Or a ball bearing with a hole in it. I really haven't got time to drill a hole, make a jig and drill a hole in a ball bearing. It needs a bigger diameter on it. I think I'm going to make a foot for it, a round foot to go on there. And that way it should pick up a whole lot better. It really needs about 5 or 6mm. I've moved this lever in a bit and I could probably move it a bit further. So instead of being 8 or 10, it's only 5 or 6. But we need a disc there, I think, with a hole on it. That's probably something that could be operated. It's got to have a screw in each end and it's got to have some arms on it. What you can see here is me evaluating my life choices. If I put a thread on this end of this bar and get a piece of even a bit of mild steel and put a nice round end on it and thread the inside of it and thread it on about 10 mil diameter. That would work fairly well, I think. I'm losing steam on this a bit. I shouldn't be. Hey, Jamar. I shouldn't be, but we're getting there, I guess. I'm going to zoom out again. Have a bit of a look at this. So it's actually got vice grips on the bottom of this shaft at the moment to stop it turning, so it all works. That's another piece that needs to be made at some point pretty soon. I've made good progress so far tonight. A shitload to do still. So I'll go till about probably 10 o'clock, I guess. Make some more bits. Bit we can make is this piece on the bottom, which I think is just going to be a bit of flat with a screw in it and a grub screw in the other end and a hole just to hold that captive. And we'll screw that on the bottom plate, and that should stop all that turning. It's tidied that up. We want a couple of cranks or something on here. I don't know what. I don't feel like disc cranks are the way to go. I feel like probably just something like this. Maybe I should concentrate on getting these shoulders working tonight. Don't know. Feeling a bit crap. This is my laptop camera, that's why. I've got this, which is half made, right? Which needs another coat and some tidy up because it's had a couple of goes, but TMB is not particularly happy with this, and I'm not really either, but it might have to do. This is our smoke layer. This goes here, sits on there. These just hook on here like this. Probably. Lucky. Oh, it goes all the way. Really. Right. Is this a competition injury? When is it got to be due? And is this due on Saturday? There we go. I said it out loud. It's due on Saturday, and I'm feeling it a bit. Right, so that's one layer, and then on the outside of that, there's this layer, which I'm sort of okay with, but I'm not as happy with it as I'd like to be. I think probably it could have been a little bit better than this if I'd found some plastic and stuff. But we live in the country now, so anyway, that's the other layer. Right, very cool. Except that it might not stay. It does stay on. I've got procedures to help it stay on. That one stayed on. This one popped out. This one popped out. I've got some bits of electrical insulation to go on there. Probably. That's the theory. I did have 3 bits of electrical on the wires to stop it popping off. So that's the bees. Hey, Matt. Right. So far we're doing okay there. This from here down, it's looking excellent. I was going to put wooden pieces on these aluminium columns. This one and these, but it's not going to happen. I don't think it's probably not really important. I'll just give everything a bit of a rub up and a clean up next time I've got it back together and got it apart again. And it'll do. So I've got that one, and this one, you notice, sticks up a little bit taller. So we've got basically the bees going around against the smoke. I'm not going to risk putting them both together because the paint won't dry properly on it, and I'd like to get a proper coat on it, and it should dry pretty quick after that. I need to make some levers. I need to make a cam. I need to make a foot for that. And I need to make a base for that. And I need to bolt this on. I need to get a head and put on it. I may make some legs and arms and some cranks, and I was ideally going to put polymer clay over the whole thing and make actually a figurine. I think I've got the proportions about right, but if I have tomorrow and the next day off, probably I've got half a chance, but I don't think that's going to happen. So nothing's going to get fixed later on this. I'm pretty happy with this mechanism here. I'm pretty happy with this, and I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty happy with all this. I just need to regroup for a minute and get this actually going. You're not going to see a lot more else happening in the workshop or what's happening in the workshop because there's nothing happening. This is what I've been on to. It does need more moving parts, exactly. Potentially, I can see the potential here. I can't see the potential by Saturday afternoon. Maybe if we have a bit of a go, I can, but I'm a bit old for that sort of crap. But everything moves pretty good. So what am I going to make? They're too heavy. There's some way of forming up brass eyelets. It'd be a really easy way to make arms and legs. I'm going to make a boss for each of these screws. Right, this one and this one and this one and this one. And I'm going to silver solder a bit of brass on here. And probably down the bottom, I'm just going to, I don't know, put a screw in it, I guess. Thinking out loud here. This is a bit of 3mm brass. It's 332 brass. I think that's too heavy for that. Negative torque will hold me back. Yeah. Having said that, all-nighters and work in between is not going to happen either. So let's do something. Hey, Mark. Where am I even going to start? Sort of now I've sat down and stopped. Let's go and get a head and see how that looks. Right. Definite improvement. What we need to do is make a brass bush for the outside of this screw, because this has got a 6mm hole in it, right? Or a 7 or 8mm hole in it. We want to make a bush that this pushes on to go on the outside of that screw. So we can lift it off and we can undo this screw and then we can push it back on. If we do that, then the head stays with the body and the shoulders move. Right. That works. We could do that. I don't know how we're going to get over there. We'll move the... I've got lathe problems. I've got 3D printer problems. I've got the milling machine still working pretty well, but let's take this screw out, which is about 10 times too long. So we could probably shorten this screw up while we're thinking about it. Settle that there. We've got a long screw because it's got an actual shoulder on it, see? You probably can't see, but that doesn't need a very big sort of a thing on it. We might be able to find a bit of tube for that and silver solder it on. I'm going to unplug us from the, because we've got 100% battery, which is a very good thing. I'm going to unplug us. We're going to need that. We'll go for a walk. We don't have anywhere really to put anything out here. But we're going to utilise Dan's engine, I think, at this point, probably. Oh, there we go. That seems to work. It's got 3 studs that sort of work and one of them that doesn't, and I'm going to knock this off for sure. Your foot hurt. What on earth did you do to your foot? What now? That's where I'm at with that. Now. There's a bit of brass that fits the head. Very good. It's got an ugly end on it. On both ends. Now, this lathe looks like it's been used a bit. It's got we'll talk about that. I've got a stuck pulley here. It's not freeing up at the moment. It's sort of free, but it's got something stuck. It's dirty or something. So I'm going to have to pull this apart and fix it, but I want to fix it properly when I do it. And it's not going to happen for a while. At this rate, it's not going to happen for a while. So we turn it on and off with the VFD, which is a pain in the, right? Because it's not coming out of gear. You can stop it all right when it's out of gear. You hold stop if it starts again. You can't see a thing, and I understand that. And that's no one you understand here either, so you just adjust that. Fix that. Put the finger drill in. You probably can't hear me either with this running. That's not right. There's something's out up there. I need to do some work on that overhead shaft. It was right before I moved it, and then after that, I need to find out what diameter this is. That's 6.8, 6.9. I call it. I'm putting this screw in my pocket, so if anyone wants to, if I can't find it, mate, screw it. Screws in my pocket. Sound gone wonky? Sorry, guys. I'm going to go up a size. adds a bit of pain that putting it and putting up there. Lift that up. Right. Pull the card off to clean it up. Drop it in the dirt. Pick it up. We need to have a serious clean up here. When we're done. That might be a Sunday job. Cancel all that. Turn it off. Sorry about the sound. Anyway, what we've got is a head for a screw, right? It's probably tight enough, but it's not really. So there's two options. We could Loctite it on. It's probably as good as anything. Let's do that. Or we could silver solder it, and that sounds like hard work. So we'll come over here to the workbench, find something to sit this on. It's a tin of paint there. Sit this on a tin of paint. Got some Loctite primer. Like that. Both parts. Beautiful. Let them dry for 10 minutes and we'll put it together. We'll put some 680 on it. That's not ever going to come off. That's the I'm not fucking about Loctite. Put that stuff on it, it's on there. Next job, we need a bit of brass. Don't know if that's ideal. It's probably pretty good. My thoughts are just to put a hole in it, 2 holes in it, one for a screw and one for a grub screw in the back. I don't think this is ideal because it doesn't give you enough adjustment. I'm going to try and find a bit of 3/8, like so. It's 5/16 actually, but that'll do because it's only got to have 4mm hole in it and a grub screw in the end. And it wants a bit of a sort of a nice neat shoulder to screw down into. So next job, over to the mill. It's going to be one of these sort of nights. Don't know if that's ideal. Probably not. Here we go. We're sitting on the Bridgeport or the Cincinnati table. We've got the copy attachment here. I can't be bothered moving it. We'll probably move it some other way. Or not. I think we're going to live with that. I can read the chat. We've got a 1/4 inch end mill in there already. A couple of parallels to space it up. Lock that up nice. And we'll put a on the back of it. What are we going to do? Holes in it first. So if we put a 4mm drill in it, a 4mm bolt in it, that would work. We're not going to, because then we have to change the tool again. We'll live with this. Can you hear it? This is going to be fairly quick. None of these bits are going to take very long to make, which is a sort of lifesaver. And none of them have to be particularly accurate. More important, probably, to get it finished nice. So that'll do that. Now we can change the tool. Put the spindle lock in. Now we've got a drill here. What's that? Where's that? Get off with this microphone. Don't know what sort of range the audio's got. You probably can't hear me over there. This drill is 4.3. That's a bit big. What's this one? 3 point something. That's a bit small. This is what should be a 4mm drill. Close enough. Probably a little bit too much squash on that R32 collar, but we'll live with it. I feel like we probably should find the centre of that, but we're not going to. So there we go. 2 holes. One, that looks like about the middle. They're going to be in line. If they're not in the middle, we're just going to take a cut off one side and clean it up. Pretty much, James, it is. Yeah, Dan, I've got one here somewhere for you. I've got to dig it out. I was going to swap them. I'd love to put a DRO on this, but it's one of those things. 1 4mm hole, 2 4mm holes. We need a file. That's not bad. We'll go back to the 6mm. Just cut it right. I'm going to cut this off. We'll clean up the ends of it, like so. There's not a lot of measurement going on here. I'll just clean those corners up a little bit. Still in the glass. Not a real good vice. This I'd like to invest in a better one at some point. Don't know when. There's always a list of things, as everyone knows. That's not ideal. I've got a C-square here, that'll be the thing. That's nice and square. Exactly right. Beautiful. Yeah. I can see a little bit off this side. A bit of shape in this. If we set it down on the 4mm drill we used, it's got a burr in it, like that, or a gauge pin. Where are we here? And we're finding an undersized gauge pin to go on the other end and set them both down on the jaws. That'll give us a bit of shape. If we do that up, we can cut that off. It's probably not really, it's probably a bit much. That'll do. Turn him over and we should be able to repeat that nicely. And wind this up so that down more because this one's a little bit deeper than the other one. Something like that. Beautiful, that's cleaned up. Okay, I can repeat on the other side again. We nearly got this bit finished. Is anyone still there? Yeah, I could silver solder it. It'd be very nice, but it didn't happen, John. An old black finished bolt, I'm not sure how good the silver solder job's going to be. It's already Loctited, it's going to be good. Drill chuck. I believe this is a 2.5 mil drill. I probably should check it. It's one of these. Exactly 2.5. That'll do nicely. I'm going to put this gauge pin back before I lose it. Bit rough for people like John Creasy, but we're just going to eyeball that. It's a flat surface, it should go through very nicely. Job's done. Next job is to put a thread in that, and we're good. Peter's over there, Mark's there, James is there. We have another conveniently placed paint pin here, I think. Let's go with that. Excellent work. This piece needs a thread in it. We've got a 3 mil tap ready to go. Start this and try and get it somewhere near straight with some sort of success, probably. Notification from Instagram to say there's a new photo from Britney Spears if anyone's interested. There we go, part's finished. It's got a bit of a burr on there, I don't like that much. I'm going to file that up. Let's go back out here and have a look at this. There's no smiling. Anyway, we're back out here. This is what we've got. So where are we here? There we go. Here. We've got a little tapered piece. Put a grub screw in one end and a screw in the other end. We've got a little bag of 3mm grub screws. We've got some collars here. We've got 3mm grub screws in. I might pinch one out of them because they're a bit longer. Anyone see my tiny? There it is. That's screwed in. Next job is to screw that into the machine. I'm going to take this off. This is a bit of an undertaking here. We'll take this off. What's next? We'll take this hand wheel off. Right. We'll take these vice grips off because we don't need them now. That's going to hold on to that. There's nothing holding that in place. This, oh gosh, what a machine. We're going to have to take, I think we're going to take this lever off here first. Unhook this wire. There we go. We'll put all these bits over here. I think we can take this one off next. We drop this shaft collar down. We can lift this out. Lose the spring on the floor, as expected. Oh gosh. There it is. I'll grab that. This lifts out. We can do something with that next. We've got to turn this mechanism, which we should have done before we took the handle off, until the grub screw lines up here. And take the grub screw out. Wrong Allen key. Right. We can slide the shaft out. Put that back on so we know where it goes. Turn it a bit further. Undo this grub screw here. And this grub screw on this gear, I guess. That lets that shaft drop right down to the floor. And we can take, I believe we can take this off. There's not too many burrs on it. There we go, that's off. Now, this shaft here's got a Teflon bush in this end. because we should discuss the elephant in the room. That's the cookie jar. Now, it's got Teflon but in the top. It hasn't got anything in the bottom, which I think is probably smart. This little bracket we've just made, which I got absolutely no idea where I put. Did we know where that went? Has anyone seen it? There it is. This goes on the bottom of this shaft. Right. That 4mm hole is fairly tight on that shaft because it's an exact size 4mm shaft because it's silver steel. There's a burr on that there. I'll get rid of that in a minute. Russian things. What happened was that I didn't move the cutter over far enough and left a little bit of a line on it. So this goes under there. Probably the best way to do this is to drop this down through here and put a Sharpie mark on the bottom where it touches the glass. Where it touches, I think. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not sure it's all that critical, but I think that's what we're going to do. Not that that's a very easy thing. We've got a mark there already from before, so we might use that. Now, these do have to come off. That one comes off. This one comes off. Screwdriver to take the top off the beehive. Because this isn't over-engineered in any way, shape or form. That's that off. Now, we've got a collar on here to stop this tube falling down. So we're going to loosen that off. See, it's just a little brass collar. I don't know if you can see that probably. For some reason, sorry guys, we've got a stream of light right there. Does anyone else see that? We can move that this way a little bit, maybe. Right, so that bit's off. We've still got a pulley on the bottom here. It's got 2 grub screws in it. We're going to get rid of them. I need the right Allen key for that because that one's got 4mm screws in it for some reason. Right. this comes out. Look at us go. We can turn this over, try not to lose too many bits, and sit it up like that. So now it's upside down, see? And we can get this Allen key, and we've only put half the screws back in it last time, so we probably was expecting to have to do this at some point. Slip the cover off. It's got 4 rubber feet in these bottom screws. Like so. I've done this about 1,000 times. We can lift this off. But we've still got a screw. I did put one of them back at least. Right. There's the bottom cover. It's got a centre punch for the centre there, which I'd forgotten about. And this little bracket goes in the centre here with a screw. I'm going to go out here and quickly centre punch this, drill it, tap it, come back. That's that done. I'm back with an appropriate length screw. Haven't got the bit. That thing you saw me do, which you didn't see me do, was me running a 4mm reamer through this hole with the battery drills just to make it fit. Because I think that 4mm hole drill's probably cutting a fraction undersize. And because this is silver steel 01, generally round 01 is right on size, whereas bright mild's a couple of thou under. So what we have now is a pretty nice fit. Maybe. Yeah, it's a good fit in there. And we've got a hole for this screw. So we'll take that out. We'll turn this up the right way and we'll put this screw back in here. And we've got little lever. Let's put this back together. Maybe. It's often an advantage usually, and it's a fractionally different length, and then they start one at a time, probably. It's a freight train going through there in Glenray. That sits down pretty easy. We'll put this screw back in here. Wrong side of that Allen key. We might put this one back in too while we're thinking about it. Because we left it out last time. Maybe. Put these in first. I didn't see any coffee. Could do with a cup. Cup of tea would be very nice. The freight train coming through. One more foot, one more screw. The screw will go in much easier now. Last. Right. This screw. Yeah, it started easy. Now. As our screws back together, we can turn it back over. We've got that piece. You can't see that really. It's in there on the bottom. It's really not something you can see. It's sort of a bit visible from the front. I don't know. The next point, I need to wash my hands, put that handle back on. I'm back reasonably clean. I'll put this hand wheel back on. Black Allen key for this one. I'll make sure everything works as we go. So far, we're doing great. Now, this rod goes, put this through first. I've got an alignment jig here, which is the right place. If we sit that down there beside it, that's the right height for this pulley that goes on the bottom of this tube. And this has got a bush in one end, so we'll put the bush to the top. We'll slide it down through that bearing and through that bearing. And make sure we get this belt. We'll forget about the belt for a minute. It'll run on later. We'll put that there and we'll put it down through the pulley. All right. Set it up. Like so. When everything's nice, we'll do that pulley up. We'll turn this and do the other screw up. Now, we shift our alignment jig out of the way. Did it fall out? Yep, fell out. We've got to put this on next. This goes down through this bush and down there. Theoretically, and it feels like it has, everything still works. It's very good. It's fitted into that bush. So now all we've got to do is do this grub screw up on the back. Except that it's not. Screw it right out. We'll give this a tap. There we go, and that's better. Now it's in. That's better. That's locked up. So that's another job done. Very good. We can put this belt back on here. No, we can't. Rats. I'm going to start and pull this apart again. Because the belt's got to go the other side of that. So undo that. Put on this and we'll give it all up out of there because it's going to be tight. We'll pull this one up too. We'll put the pulley the other side of that, the belt the other side of that shaft. It's falling down again. There we go. Put the belt through there. That's something we've got to be a bit mindful of. Push that in. We'll do up the grub screw again. We need to line this up, so we'll get this alignment piece of stuff in here again. You can't see anything I'm doing here. Sorry, guys. Put that in. That's the right height. This collar goes on next to retain it. We'll do that one up. We can take the alignment jig out now, and that should all be nice and solid. What we've got to do is do up this grub screw, or this screw on this bracket once it all works. And it's all working. And hopefully we can get enough purchase here to do this up a couple of turns. Come on, do the thing. We always try the ball end of the Allen key, even though you know that there's no way in the world that's going to work. But we can probably get it. Look at that. Yeah, beautiful. Except we're going the wrong way. Emma. Lock that one up. To be fair, it's the first time I've put this piece together on here. And now it's on here. It's probably never coming apart again. We get about quarter of a turn there, or eighth of a turn there, and we can get about eighth of a turn here. Let's go. It's all still turning nicely. A little bit more, just to nip it up. Right. So that's restrained. Excellent job. So this is not going to turn anymore. Right. That's back on. Top of the beehive's back on with 2 screws. We need to put this belt back on now because we've got it actually the right side of everything. Right. This shaft's spinning, as it should. This one's not, as it should. These two are all running perfectly well and everything's running very smoothly, so I'm very happy with that. Now, what goes next? Jeez Louise. One of those and one of those. This piece. Goes on there. It's got a grub screw. Because it needs a grub screw. This little bevel gear goes next. Probably. Yeah, it goes on. This one on the shaft goes next. Probably. We don't get it stuck, which we did. There we go. Now that turns round until we do up this screw probably, and then it won't, or it might, depending. Now, sometimes it only goes one way, so we need to check to see that it does go the right way. And everything works. How good's that? Now, next bit's this. We'll go and get this bolt that we locked over together. So we've got a special bolt with a collar on it. And that Loctite's grabbed up. We were going to chop that off. We haven't done that yet. It's got about 100 miles of thread on it. Right. Oh, we got head on. Very cool. Next job's this lever, I think. Probably. Maybe no, I think this lever's first, which is this one. No, we can't put that on because we're going to fix that next. We'll put this one on with that through the slot. Don't know what that strand of light from the... William Henry says, so what is it? No one has a clue. There we go. Shoulders move. That strand of light's really annoying me. Sorry, guys. I don't know if you can see that, but it's the fluoro. Anyway, that works as it should. These need to go, one needs to go pretty well straight back there, and we'll do that screw up. Move that one up about there. We'll drop this Allen key in just to line it up. Probably. Or not, depending. Yeah. Something we've learnt is that we can't put that rod in after we've put that lever on. Most peculiar. Let's take this lever off again. Bill made a comment about stuff not going together as smoothly. You've got no idea how many times I've had this apart. That's nice and square. It's not really. It's getting there. That's better. So that's back on. Now, we were going to put something on the bottom of this, weren't we? I think he's responsible for making it work. Many hands as they make light work. And what we're going to do about that, we're probably going to cut that off and put a lock nut on it to stop it undoing so that it's got a little play in it. See, it's got a lot of thread on it. I'm going to go and chop this off. I'm going to put a nut back on it first and then screw that in there. Let's fix that. And we can screw that back in there. Work out what's binding there. I might run a reamer through that as well while I've got it handy. There's just a little bit of silver solder in that hole. That spins through there nicely now. So we put that back on. With about 3 turns. We could put this lock nut on here. Probably put a line lock on it. at some point when it goes back together, but I don't know. I'm sort of starting to feel like that'll do it for now. So that's fixed. My father, his name was Stanley, and he used to cut the little bit off the Stanley box, toolbox, and put on things when he thought that he was more capable of stuff, and he had to go back and fix someone else's mistakes. And the motto was Stanley helps you do things right. That was one of his things. So that's that. We can put this back on now. We've put a thread on one end of this already in a lock nut and a little bracket. I've routed this end off, but it's obviously not enough. So what I'm going to do is machine that back, put a thread on it. And I guess we need to make a bit of steel or a brass foot to go on it. Brass might be better. Nylon would be even better still. I've got a bit of nylon. Probably got some aluminium. Let's go back out here and have a look. If no one's sick of this, it could be a couple of hours in yet. A bit much sticking out there. Nice square end back on there. I'll find the 3mm button die. Like so. And we can't find our square plate for the stupid mill, for the tailstock. I don't know where it is. It's a bit of a nuisance not having it, to be honest. It's something I use all the time, and it's just here somewhere and I can't see it. It won't be far away. So I'm just going to put the back of the die stock against the front of the tailstock. which is pretty rough practice. It's only a 3mm thread, so it'll run on there pretty good. Sit that down on there. So we've got a spare hand. That's about 5mm thread on there, that'll do that. Undo that, I better find something to screw on it. There we go. Both printer, I just 3D something. Got a bit of 3/4 aluminium. I've got a bit of nylon, a bit of engineering plastic. There's a bit of yellow engineering plastic. That looks a bit ordinary though, does it? It's not real good stuff to machine, but it'd be quiet, and I like that. There was a bit of there's a bit of 10mm nylon or Teflon there. I don't think that's big enough. Yellow engineering plastic's a bit crap. A bit of black would be nice. I wonder where that bit of nylon went. I made that push out of it yesterday. And I pushed it somewhere inside. Put back in under here somewhere. I've got brass, I've got aluminium. I'll have a look over here and see there was a bit of 3/4 black. From memory, I think it was about 1 metre long. I wonder where that went. I'll sit that there, don't tell anyone. Otherwise I'm going to lose it. I'm going to have a look over here on the wall. I'm led to believe I could be imagining it. I'm going to call in a friend on that one, I think. We'll put this back together and we might call it a night. Go to bed. While we're late here, I'm starting to crash. Uses the ramp. That's what I'm thinking, Stuart. I'm thinking about that. I've got a mate in Coffs who's got a 3D printer that's running pretty good. I'm seriously thinking I get him to print that in the ramp and pick it up. And just use a plastic ramp and a plastic foot. I think that would work very well and it'd last forever. A bit of 2-inch nylon would be nice, and a bit of 2-inch nylon for the, or a bit of 10mm black plastic or something for the bumper would be really good too. But I don't think it's going to happen. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I put this little wire link, which is spring wire. We'll put this stupid bracket back on first. We've also got to put this spring in here, like so, and this shaft collar, which isn't ideal, but it'll do for now. It'll do for all time. It'll do. So we'll put all those bits back in. We'll do that up so that it's all sort of got some tension on it, maybe. I don't think it needs very much. Probably doesn't need that much. So we'll put this back on, which I think we can do now. Wrong Allen key by a couple of sizes. That works. We've got this little wire link. Which goes through there and turns the corner. No, it's got to go through the top one first. Goes through there. There we go. Stupid lights there again. Anyway. That works. The other one works. Or it did work. Something's gone tight. What is it? You're skipping a belt somewhere. It's digging in there. That's all that is. It's just not smooth. There's a little bit there. It's enough resistance to stop that. So we're going to have to do something about that. Anyway, there's probably 20 jobs I should do tonight on it to get it somewhere closer to finished, like there really is. It's up past 9. I need to sleep. I think it's not good, but that's the way it's going to be. I'm going to see if I can get an extension and drop this down to them on Monday or something, which would give me a whole weekend, but I'll talk to Honey about that. We've lost that spring somewhere. There it is. So it obviously wasn't back in properly. Anyway, that works. This works. Because that's a threaded rod, not a smooth end rod now. That's what's holding it up a little bit there. What I'm going to do is knock off. I'm going to draw up this bit and that bit and get them printed. And we should nicely have this shoulder operational working. I've got to tap and drill 2 holes in each end of that. I think that's a 4-jaw chuck job, might be the easiest way. I don't know if I can think of another way. It's another train. I might call this live stream at night, and I might just do that, put them 2 holes in there at some point, and tonight, and then I'll go and draw them up, and that'll nearly do me for tonight. So anyway, thanks for joining in, guys. Sorry it was a bit sort of all over the place, and yeah, I wasn't particularly conscious about audio and stuff. But anyway, we're certainly starting to make this look like something. This is still very sticky. It's not good. I'll give that till tomorrow night. This could go back on then, and we should have the bees and the bees and the clouds behind the smoke behind them. I'm going to just place this gently. Too late. That didn't happen. Sort of like that. I think. So I'm going to say that as finished as it's going to be to there. What else is I going to do on the bottom here? Is there anything else I need? No, I've got everything. So everything's done to there, basically. Are we still zoomed out or zoomed in or something? I think we could be. Sorry, guys. Let's do this. There we go. That's better. So I think we're finished to there, right? As far as we're going to be. And paint those screw heads. It's about the only other job to do on that. but not until I'm sure it's not coming apart again. Put these in place properly so everything spins nicely. Make a cam and a runner for this, and we've got the shoulders working. We need to do something with some arms and legs then. Tomorrow night's job's going to be arms and legs. If we can get that sorted, and if I can get the rest of the weekend, I've got half a chance of getting it finished. So there we go. Anyway, thanks, guys. I'm out of here. I'm going to go and honestly, I'm not even sure I'm going to set this up and do it tonight. I'm not feeling like I'm going to get them in the middle or anything. A bit impatient tonight. It might be first job back tomorrow is to do this and to then probably I can run in after dark and pick up the printed parts, set them in place, and we're all ready to go. So I'm going to go and find some dinner at least, because that's probably half the problem is I'm hungry.